Shalom. And all praises, Israel. All praises. I've been sitting here thinking, um, while I'm chilling, smoking, and watching TV, and certain movies, certain things give me inspiration, and Holy Spirit moves through a lot of things, and it gives you a lot of time to think. I'm just thinking of how wicked this world is, and this system, which is what we're going to get into today. But I just love how people try to play you, really to your face. And so let me just tell you a little bit about myself. And I did it in my first video a while back ago, but I didn't go deep because I'm not trying to get popular with these videos or any of this stuff. Like I said before, when I created this is really to have as proof of the things that I have said, because everything that I've said is happening. And no one is going to take that from me, because people love to try to take my accolades and my accomplishments away from me and then try to play me in my face when they themselves haven't done anything remotely close. So I'm going to be getting deep here in a lot of personal things for the next few videos, because I see what I went through in my life, even as a child. Had to grow up at 5 years old, and what I've went through in my life. The foster home, biological mother is a crackhead, dope fiend, which she passed away a while back ago. I said that in my last video in October. She passed away. But yeah, all this that I see, I have the experience, and I've been through horrible, unspeakable things. And I see a lot of people, it can help a lot of people. So anyway, I'm 33 now, but I come from Cleveland. And I'm the oldest of two that we know of, which, like I said in my video, I just found out I have 4 more, which I don't know who they are. But as for record, the oldest of 2. And since the other 4 were had after me, I'm older than them as well. So I am the oldest of possibly 6. But I was adopted at 10. After being thrown into the system, taken away at 7, abuse, all types of horrible things. But there was one thing that I always remained consistent in with me at 5. Is I always took care of my brother, my sister, and I always made sure I took myself to school to get an education. When we had no power, no electricity, no power, no water, no heat, in the dead of winter in Cleveland, Ohio, I made sure that I got myself up and took my ass to school. Going in and out of the foster care system, I was a bad child. My juvenile record, thank God that they close it, the state closes it, and no one can get in that. But it's bad. It is bad. It's bad. It's very bad. And it kind of closed a lot of opportunities for my adulthood and my adult life and growing into becoming an adult. Going through foster home, group home, boys prison home, residential homes, detention homes, went through all of that. By the time I hit about 16, it began to calm down when I got in my last home, the Youngs, Carla, and all them in Canton, Ohio. It began to calm down. I began to calm down. Once I got out of the foster care system, which is actually 19, is when she kept me a year extra, because, she was good people. I still call her mom to this day. But anyway, once I got out of the system, there was things I wanted to do. A lot of things. I wanted to be a homicide detective. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be a professional wrestler. I wanted to be a football coach. I wanted to do a lot. So once I got out of high school, I started down all these paths. I started coaching football, pee-wee football. I enrolled at the University of Mount Union. Ended up having to drop out a semester later because it was so expensive. To try to get myself on the road to start coaching football and get myself in the door early. Started going to training camps and football camps to try to get that coaching thing, because I never played football, but I have played basketball and I have professional wrestled. Not the high school gym wrestling. I'm talking about the WWE, the Ohio Valley Wrestling. I have trained for the WWE. That's the type of wrestling I love. And so that's what I did. I went and I did that. The college football didn't work out. Well, the coaching football didn't work out because I was not a people person. That was one thing that I always remained consistent with me in my life, even from a child. As a child, I hated authority. I was a very intelligent child. I was just very angry and very bad. Which, because I was so angry and so bad, it outweighed the intelligence. People tried to make me feel stupid because I didn't do certain things, or I didn't. It's because I didn't want to do certain things. I wanted to do things my way. And since I'm smarter than you, you shut up. You don't tell me what to do. I tell you what to do. And since you can't figure out that you're dumber than me, I'm have to tell you that you're dumber than me and then prove it, because I'm also a guy of facts. Everything just like the Father, I come in the name of my Father, which, by the way, we didn't start off with that. Give all acknowledgement to the angels of the four quarters of the earth. Michael of the east, Gabriel of the west, Raphael of the south, Uriel of the north. Ba'ashem Yahusha, HaMashiach, Yahweh, we give all acknowledgement. Ruach Aklum Kadash, we give acknowledgement to the Holy Spirit, the Queen of Heaven, and of course, Rachel, Pael, Gabriel, and Michael, my four guardian angels. So yeah, coach football, Pee Wee, Canton Pee Wee, Michigan, the Canton Wolverines in Canton, Ohio, under Mike Bibbin, a little bit, and I didn't do that for long because I was always switching things because I wanted to do so many things. I went to the police academy for a little bit to try to become a homicide detective. That didn't work out. Well, it didn't work out. It's just I didn't stick with it because that's the story of every lot of things. I changed it. I move on to something new before the actual outcome. So it's like I put in all this work in this one field just to move on from it. It's ridiculous. But that's been the story of my life, which we're about to touch into that. Laboring in vain. So I did that. Football then. Once the football didn't work, the homicide didn't work, I said, oh, well, I'm still young. Let's go to Ohio Valley Wrestling. I saved up about 12 grand. Paid for a couple semesters at the Ohio Valley Wrestling. It's like, let's see how this works. I loved it. It's one of the things that helped me stay in shape. Also taught me how to be able to pick up and lose weight very quickly. So I didn't work out with that because, again, I'm not a people person. I don't like authority. I didn't, and those are Hall of Fame guys. And it's like, so if you can't take orders from them, then you kind of can't take orders from anybody. So that didn't work out for me. And so the last and final thing, was something that was easy. Let's just pick up an easy trade, which was culinary was something that I picked up because it was easy. I was raised in the kitchen, brought up in the kitchen. It's easy. So once I got out of high school and all that stopped, which part put me at the age of 21, that from 21 to 33 now, is, because a lot of those doors I won't be able to get back into. The football, there's no way I can walk back into that door now unless I go back into a college, work with their football team, and that be my way back into that door. As for the Ohio Valley Wrestling, that door is shut. There's no going back into that door because I'm 33. Car crash, hip surgeries, head surgeries, there's no way I could be able to wrestle at this age with those pre-existing injuries. To top it all off, I wouldn't want to do that now anyway, just to put my body through that type of stress. That's something that that I had the right idea when I was 18, 19 years old, that you had to start out early. You give yourself at least 5 years to train, 5 years to understand, and then another 5 years by that time you're ready to be able to have a career at the main stage on a primetime television for at least 10 years or so. And that's still, 19 is still very old, actually, to try to break into the wrestling business, because a lot of these guys, they're doing this at 7, 8, 9, 7 years old. So all that happened, then the car crash, bad relationships, losing a house, losing a car, losing all that money, but going down to homelessness, poverty. Now I know what the poverty level is, because before I never knew what that level was since my biological mother. Once I got into the foster care system, I was fortunate to be placed into very decent homes where the parents were very well off. They lived in big houses, they drove fancy cars and all those things. After the whole poverty thing, I've never really been able to recover anything because the things kept changing. I kept growing. I kept wanting to do more stuff. So now it's no longer about football, homicide detective, or wrestling, or even culinary. Now it's about building something for the people. I understand the system that I'm in. And from a young age, I knew this system. And I always knew that I wanted to be, my mom told me I was going to be an evangelist one day. Because I love to speak, I love to debate, I'm intelligent, I'm very intelligent. And I hate when people try to make me feel stupid because they're stupid. That's something you won't do. I was just at a restaurant. I worked at this restaurant. And then when I was homeless, when 2014, when we hitchhiked from Akron, Ohio, all the way to Virginia Beach for the first time, I had open books. Therefore, there was nothing completed. I had 2 different types of degrees I was working on that was not completed. I had trade classes I was working on that was not completed. It was incomplete, everything that I start but didn't finish. So when I came down here to Virginia, I said, let me finish all this stuff. We're going to get this culinary trade. We got all that. We even got a psychology associates. We got that. Now we reinvented myself, but then again, added things to my arsenal. Strip things away and added more things, strip more things, because you're always supposed to be growing every single day. I was at this one restaurant and these dudes try to play me as if I wasn't this good cook. First of all, they're bad cooks. They're amateurs. They're children that never been in any type of high pristine establishment or environment. They've been holes in the walls all their lives. They've never done anything outside of that either. I've done so many different things. From wrestling, from politics, from football, from construction, landscaping, housekeeping, hotel, retail, house-to-house sales, done it all. I've been working since I could. I needed a work permit to start working. So that was 16 years old, 16, 17 years old. So we're going to get into this system today. It's funny because where we are in this world, the people that are in power are stupid, they are incompetent, they are weak, and they above all, they are wicked. They are wicked. See, to be a good leader and a good manager, to be a good boss or a good leader, you have to have righteousness. There's no way around it. You have to have righteousness. There's no way that you could call yourself a good boss and you have not 1 ounce of righteousness inside of you. You are wicked. You are just of your father, a liar and a devil. Which we're about to get into, this Babylonian system that is full of nothing but devils. If you Google Babylonian system, it will come up, it would give you this definition. It's amazing when people say the Bible is a book of stories, but when you understand it, it's really the Negro history book. The Negroes were sold into this system that still to this day that we are a part of. And this system was prophesied that they will be a part of this system. And this system will rule the entire earth for 400 plus years. The Babylonian system is a communistic system that seeks to destroy freedom and people in all nations and kingdoms. It is also described as a human system of religions based on traditions and the authority of man rather than of God. The Babylonian system incorporates in every aspect of it a corrupt government, pedophilia, prostitution, corrupt economic systems, and adultery, which is what all their religions promote, is adultery. Because all of the religions on the planet Earth are adultery. And that's why they can't argue with the Hebrew Israelites, because why the Hebrew Israelites are a culture based off this book is really the Negro heritage. There are other camps and they are operating and trying to make it into a religion, because that's what Babylon does. And it incorporates every aspect of this system: corrupt government, including pedophilia, prostitution, corrupt economic systems, and adultery. It also reduces human beings to slaves, traded in a market, and engines of production, prosperity, and sinful pleasures. Jeremiah 51:58. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the broad walls of Babylon. You know, the people of America love to talk about the walls. See, this thing is no joke. This is what they're speaking of. The walls of Babylon should be utterly broken, and her high gates should be burnt with fire, and the people shall all labor in vain as a fork in the fire, and they shall all be weary. Psalms 137:8. O daughter of Babylon, who should be destroyed, who are to be destroyed. Happy shall they be that rewarded thee, as she has rewarded us, the children of Israel, with nothing but misery, destruction, and captivity. When I was growing up, they told us, go to school, get an education, and be something. When I was homeless on those streets and I couldn't find a job, I didn't complain. I didn't bitch. Instead, I took myself to school and I added trades, I added gifts, I added talent to make myself more presentable to the workforce market. Now, fast forward 10 years later, that workforce market is now being flooded with illiterates, high school dropouts, felons, people with no integrity and no nothing. Because now all of those things that was stood 10 years ago are done away with now. See, if you've been paying attention either all the way from 10 years ago when I started this, when I was out here on these streets speaking and talking and at bus stops, I mean, I was publicly known. When those people were laughing and mocking at me, mocking me, which they still do to this day. But the difference between then and now is I'm in your face. What's that, nigga? I heard a little monkey saying something. The problem is those Negroes are quiet when that time comes. But those same people that were laughing and mocking and recruiting others to hate me for no reason because I'm a loner. So for how, it amazes me. Well, we heard about you. From who? Because I'm a loner. I don't chill with nobody. And the person that you heard about me from, 9 times out of 10 is some person that I let inside my circle that was a piece of shit and I kicked him out. And now this punk ass is going to go around spreading rumors to the other punk asses that's punk ass enough to listen to that one punk ass. See, that's one thing about stupid, wicked people. My mama used to always tell me that as a kid. Never underestimate a room full of stupids. Never underestimate a room full of stupids. Because what's just like they did at this last job, all them stupid idiot mongrel monkeys all teamed up together against me because I'm the better one of all. And see, that's how it is. That's how it's been my whole life. That's why I've been able to do so many different things and learn so many different things, because I pick up on stuff just like that. All you got to do is give me the opportunity and I take your position. And that's why these Negroes be so mad. And that's why they're being set up inside this Babylonian system, because it's falling. Notice how you're seeing everything, first black this, first black that, first black this, first black that. Because what they're doing is they're taking those 2/3 Negroes and they're putting them in positions of power. So when this thing goes falling down, they can say it's the blacks that did it. It's the blacks that did it. So when you go into any place and there's a black man in charge, a black woman in charge, 9 times out of 10, it's the worst of our people. It's the worst that our people have to offer. The worst that our people have to offer. That's why you go in any restaurant now, the service is just bad. The food is bad. The timing is bad. There used to be a time that you could go to McDonald's. Your food was like first of all, they were in there with those little tie shirts. They were clean. They were respectable. And your food came out just like that. Now you go into McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, it doesn't matter. You could go any damn where. You have some disrespectful Negro who is also the fucking manager. And then you ask them, what is on your resume? No high school diploma, no education, no experience. And you have left to wonder, how did you get this job? Because that's part of the affirmative action. And I've said this many times before. Affirmative action did not do anything for Negroes. It definitely didn't do nothing for the Negroes that had the college educations, that had the degrees, and had already had a position in society. And it didn't do nothing for us. All it did was give the Negroes that were the slackers, that were the slouchers, that were the lazy ones, that were undependable, unreliable. All it did was give them an opportunity to come in and have what our mothers and what we paid the price to have. That's all it did. That's why you go in all these places and you see the worst of the Negroes. And I call them the 2/3 because 2/3 of the house of Israel should be destroyed by the sword. That means 2/3 of the Negroes are going to be killed by a sword. They're going to be murdered. They're going to be disappeared. They're going to get kidnapped. They're going to be found and hanging from trees. This is what is coming for the 2/3 of our people that refuse to bow down and repent and give all glory to the praises to the Most High. And that's one thing people can't say. They can't say I'm a liar. They can't say I'm a thief. They can't say I'm a con. They can't say I'm a gossiper. They can't say any of those things. Because I don't do those things. I don't really have sins like that. The biggest sins that I have are sexual sins. I love to have sex. I love to fuck. Those are my biggest sins. And I can openly say these sins and then tell you how many flaws you have. That's why it says, do not look at the speck in your brother's eye when you got a plank in your eye. See, that's why I can talk like this, and I go out here and I talk like this, because I have already evaluated myself, and I evaluate myself daily. And add talent, take away things. Add things, take away things. That's like it says in Habakkuk. Consider thy ways. And we're at the end. We're at the end. You see that there's nothing new. Ecclesiastes, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that is already done has been done. This shit is going down. The birth rate is declining. Well, everyone but the Negro. Birth rates all over the earth are declining. That's the Most High saying you're done. Kill them. Get them off the earth. You go in these jobs and the people are just so mad, so angry, and I'm just a happy guy there. And that's what makes them so mad. It's like, it's not my problem your life sucks. I was homeless, sleeping on the streets. I come from an abusive home where my mama was a crazy woman who sold her children to witches for crack. Nigga, you have nothing to be angry about, because your mistakes and the reason why your life sucks is because you made it suck. Wasn't nobody implementing themselves inside your life and destroying things, taking things out in your name and messing up your credit, messing up your future for the rest of your life. You did it to yourself. This is why people make me so angry. This is why. Because they refuse to take accountability for themselves. And these are the people that Babylon puts in positions of power. They put them in positions of power to rule. That's why it says, when a wicked ruler is in power, everybody mourns. And when a righteous man is in power, everyone is in joy. And these are the things that the Negroes have been saying for 500 years. But y'all told us to pick ourselves up by the bootstrings. Oh, it doesn't exist. Now inflation is here. All these things are here. They're always been here, because the Negroes, we lived like this forever. But now it's to the point where you can feel it. And now you're saying, oh, we got to stick together. No, sir. This is your destruction. Because when everything was fine and good and glorious for you, when my people was suffering in this country for over 500 motherfucking years, you people pick yourself up by your bootstrings. Now your people are homeless. All they go in any homeless shelter, 90% of it is white. Now your people are on drugs. Look at the drug statistics and overdoses. 90% of them are white. Now your race is being wiped off the earth. Look at the statistics. The biggest declines are among the white nations. Now all of a sudden we got to come together. No. You done this to my people, as it said in Psalm 137. O daughter of Babylon, who deserves to be destroyed. Happy shall they be. We would be happy when this place burns to the ground and all you wicked people are dead. Happy shall he be that reward thee as she has served us. So give everything unto you, what you gave to my people. That means your children, they need to get kidnapped, they need to get raped, and they need to get murdered. Because this is what you did to our children. They need to be fed to gators, pigs, dogs, and whatever other vile animal that's in those swamps. Because this is what you did to our children. Now that your children are coming up missing, now all of a sudden all the white people are out there saying, oh, inflation, oh, the Democrats, No, this is karma. This is the same system that your daddies and your great daddies and your granddaddies and the daddies before him voted in. And they were all okay with it because you had the money, you had the houses, you had the land that you passed down to your children, to your dumb children, to the next generation. Every generation, y'all get dumber and dumber. But those children somehow still have houses, cars, and land because you passed it down to them. Now all that is being destroyed. All that is being taken away from you. The Lord is sending the migrants in, and they're confiscating your houses and they're confiscating your homes, and soon the Negroes are going to do it too. Because everything that you stole from us, you're going to have to get back. And just the Negroes that are with you, all the Negroes that be in these positions, that are in these places, that hate their own, that do anything they can to try to take down their own. You Negroes are getting yours too. You monkeys ain't going unpunished. You're going to be right there in bed in the ground with your master. And that's where we are. It's done. I just sit and think because I get so angry that it's not happening fast enough. You're just not dying fast enough. But this is the Bible. And those that don't have any understanding of this word and of all the thousands of books that they removed from the Bible, see, it's not just the Bible either. You don't learn this stuff overnight. I've been in this for 10 straight years and still haven't even reached the tip of the iceberg, man. And that's just where we are. We give all praises to the Most High, the God of glories, of wonders, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Michael of the east, Gabriel of the west, Raphael of the south, Uriel of the north, Rachel, Baal, Michael, and Gabriel again. And happy Tzedek. Today's Thursday, the day of Jupiter. Happy. All right. Salah.